into the back of the net to give the Tigers the upset win. Of course, Torden not available today because she's playing in the Under-20 World Cup with a big quarterfinal matchup tonight against Germany. But the other Tigers will have to contend with a two-headed monster in goal. It'll likely start with Kara Martin and then finish with Anna Karpenko. Martin gets the start again. She has started all but one game this year, and Karpenko, the former Harvard Crimson goalie, has relieved her every game. Here are how the Hoyas line up in front of her. They'll play a 3-5-2, so a three-back set for Dave Nolan in his 21st season at the helm of the Hoyas. And for the Tigers, it's been consistent in net all year under 10th-year head coach Sean Driscoll. Tyler McCamey getting the start again. You see her numbers there, a pair of shutouts. She had 4 saves in the 2-1 comeback win over Drexel on Thursday. And here is the starting 11 in front of McCamey, of course, with Zoe Marcassini playing at the left back spot in her first game back from her stint with Canada in the Under-20 World Cup. Hoyas in the gray, moving from left to right. Tigers in the orange kits, moving from right to left. And we are underway on just a gorgeous early evening for soccer in the Garden State. Andrew Luftglass alongside Ice Young. Princeton with the early possession here, but Georgetown, we know, a dynamic offensive side, and they get a ton of shots on cage.
Yeah, they do not play around when it comes to generating opportunities. Their fullbacks to their wings to their forwards are completely interchangeable. It's what makes them so dangerous. So they can come at you from multiple different levels and they're aggressive with it. They are not afraid to send multiple players up to look to go to goal.
5th in the nation in shots per game, 10th in the nation in corners per game. And here they go forward with their first chance. Natalie Means running into the box and turned away quickly by Marcassini. Volleyed on cage, and McCamey chases down the try by Henley Tippins.
Yeah, really nice volley back to goal, though, for Tippins. That was beautiful technique, and again, got it on goal, forced McCamey to make a save. Good start for the Hoyas.
Henley Tippins, who is looking for her third goal against a New Jersey-based college, her other 2 in her college career against Rutgers and Seton Hall. Fumans hands it off for Kayla Wong. She's trying to send it down the right flank to the speedy Lily Bryant. And that could be where the game is won in the final third for Princeton with their speed on the flanks. Coomans down the left wing, Lily Bryant down the right.
Definitely was an emphasis from Sean Driscoll in our conversations with him pregame about using the space, using the width of the pitch, and using their flanks and their speed to attack the Hoyas on the outside.
And pressuring in this 4-4-2, that is something of a formation change for Sean Driscoll. In part, I think in large part because of the 3-5-2 he's facing with Georgetown. They will sacrifice the numbers in the midfield to try to get a better matchup in the attacking and defensive third. McNabb down the left wing. There is Coomans. Coomans trying to thread one through, and Martin comes out to grab it ahead of Alexandra Berry.
I tell you what, I heard head coach Sean Driscoll yelling to Coomans, have one there. I think he wanted her to put one on goal from about 25 yards out. And not a bad idea either. You got to think about the sun, and the sun right now is in the eyes of Kara Martin. You might want to try one from long range and see if you force her to make a good save.
Martin did not see many shots in her first half action against number 25 South Carolina on Thursday. It was a 2-2 draw. Almost all the action went to Karpenko in the second half. Martin stopped the only shot on goal that she faced in the first against the Gamecocks.
Yeah, the Hoyas were extremely dominant there in the first half, and us having a conversation with Dan Nolan, he mentioned that he thought they should have been up at halftime, and instead it was 0-0. But I agreed with him. I thought that there could have been 2 or 3 really great opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net early.
Now here's Montgomery, the former Gamecock, sending it wide. Defended well by Ryan Brown. Lily Bryant there. Here's Ellen Carter. Now, this is a change for Georgetown at the back. They are without one of their 2 important back line players. They play a 3-back, and one of their regular starters is out. No Emily Royson, the Duke transfer, so instead, number 24, Ellen Carter, is playing on the right back spot. It's Carter on the right. One of their other grad transfers, Lawson Rennie, in the middle. That one sent toward McCamey with that sun you mentioned before. And then on the left side, it's Erica Harwood.
Yeah, it's a factor for both keepers, the sun.
5 o'clock kickoff. So we're seeing some shadows on the near side, but otherwise a sun-baked pitch at Roberts Stadium.
Good attack there from Erica Harwood, won that 1v1. Again, that's something the Hoyas are so good at, is just winning the ball and then looking to play forward.
Now, one of the things Sean Driscoll said about what Dave Nolan's teams do is they don't play the long ball forward. They play intentional balls forward to try to break lines. They are very progressive in passing vertically rather than laterally. Wong connecting to Bryant. Trying to thread one through for Barry, but she wasn't making the run, so Rennie collects.
I thought that was a good sequence right there, but then trying to play it a little bit too direct and long. Play to feet there and play out of that space forward.
Deep throw for Georgetown, and you see how high pressing Princeton is at the start of this one. Claire Manning on the throw, and all the bodies forward for the Tigers. Pressuring that back line. They flip the field very well to Carter and now into space. Heller taken right off her foot by Kate Toomey.
Great job and step there from Kate Toomey. Just a little burst of speed out of the midfield to win that ball. And even though she kicks it out of bounds, it gives her team a chance to reset, to match up, and now they can defend and hopefully win it back.
Playing a defensive holding midfield role, you feel, is going to be pretty important to Princeton's ability to break down these passing lanes for Georgetown.
Yeah, it's all about winning the battles in the midfield, right? I mean, Coach Driscoll told us that was one of his keys to the game was, can we win battles in the midfield?
Koumans wide for McNabb, but just a little too far.
A great idea. Got to think this left side of the pitch is so dangerous for the Tigers. In the back, you have Marcassini, then it goes to McNabb, then it's Koumans. I mean, they really look to build off of this left side.
And if they can flip the field then to Bryant, who's so great 1v1, that puts Georgetown in a bind.
Talk about the secret sauce right there.
Back to goal, Barry. And can't escape the end line, but Princeton still putting pressure in that left-hand corner.
Yeah, you know the Hoyas are mature and disciplined. Even though their back line is a little new, they're not going to go for gambles, so you have to play patient.
Doing that, and Marcassini, as we kind of expected, factoring into the attacking third, pushing up from left outside back. Tigers comfortable that they have numbers here to push her up. Collision there. And a Tiger down. Take a look.
Bit of a late challenge there from Turner.
On Drew Koumans. The game for Georgetown is going to have to be find a way to slow down Koumans with that back three. Georgetown wanted a handball. It did come up pretty high, but they won't get it. Tigers with another deep throw. McNabb almost went over the back of Eliza Turner, and Kara Martin scoops it up.
Yeah, McNabb understanding how important the win of that second ball is, but especially in the air, that was an emphasis for the Tigers today to win balls in the air against the Hoyas because the Hoyas look to be so aggressive.
Martin again getting the start. She had the start last year against Princeton in the 3-2 Tigers win. She was not the starting goalie last year. That was Allie Auger, who was so great for this Hoyas team the last few years. But Martin got the start last year. Tigers won 3-2. But the first 2 goals in that game were own goals off of deflected crosses. So Georgetown was chasing the game a little bit, came back, tied it, and we showed you the Pietra Torden game winner at the start of this game. That gave the Tigers the upset win. Played onto the feet of Tippins. They flipped the field for Natalie Means. Going one-on-one with Marcassini. And Marcassini wins the battle, but Georgetown wins the corner. That is going to be a fun 1v1 matchup tonight.
Oh, and I really love how quickly the Hoyas were able to switch the field, get it to Means, right in a position where she can make a quick move and try to get one off. Good defense there from Marcassini.
McCamey with the sun in her face as the Tigers try to defend this corner. Played toward the 6. Chested down on the volley. Lardner turning with it. Trying to get across. Bryant's there with the left foot. Help defense coming from Barry. Still on the end line. Oh, what great work by Barry and Bryant. Double teaming to make it a throw-in.
Really nice service here on the backside. Not able to get power behind it. That could have been a really good opportunity. And then good job here by the Tigers to suffocate Lardner.
So a deep throw instead of a corner because of that great defensive work by the Tigers. Bryant was part of that. She wins it away from Claire Manning. One thing we have not seen just yet is Georgetown having the real estate to get off a long-range shot. They are really good at winning corners. They're very good at pinning you deep down the flanks. But they also, if they have any room at all from 20, 25 yards out, they can let it fly.
Yeah, it seems like they just haven't established that offensive rhythm and flow yet. Game is still a bit choppy here, but thought the opportunity they just had with Means going one-on-one is looks like the opportunities they'd like to create more of consistently. And again, top 5 team in the country at shots on goal. They are going to create these opportunities.
It should be a busy evening for Tyler McCamey. How busy will depend on the Tiger back line. Ellen Carter chasing that down, pestered by McNabb, has to play to Martin. Martin playing centrally. Bryant steps up. Wozniak playing long, nobody there.
That's the second time we've seen that happen on the right side with looking to play long against the touchline and then not finding success on the other side. Is Dave Nolan, one of the best coaches that you'll find in the country. 21st season at Georgetown. So much success. You mentioned it. 4 back-to-back Big East championships. I was grateful enough to call the last one versus Xavier. What a matchup that always is in the Big East.
Yeah, they have been at the top of that conference almost every year. 4 straight Big East tournament titles. They have won 7 of the last 8 tournament titles in the Big East. The only time they lost was to that Xavier team. Here's Lardner.
Oh, great job cutting inside. She's so good at that.
Playing it down the right wing for Tippins. Well played by Marcassini.
An awesome tackle.
Check that Ryan Brown on that play to slide over in that spot. Little chaotic here. Wong waiting for numbers.
Yeah, I think that she missed Brian on the left side, but they get it to her.
Trying to flip it off the head of Harwood. Bryant one-on-one on a 50-50 ball. Erica Harwood comes away with it.
Man, that is why Harwood is so good. She uses her body so well. Anticipates. There she is cutting off Bryant again. We talked about one-on-one matchups. That's another one on the other side of the pitch that we can keep our eye on, folks.
Harwood against Bryant down the right side for Princeton. And down the right side on the other side, Natalie Means against Zoe Marcassini. It has been a pretty open game at the start, despite these two sides being very disciplined, very much in their shapes. There's some running room for Georgetown. There is Natalie Means against Zoe Marcassini. Means forced to the outside, but she's got wheels. Means cut off by Marcassini.
Wow, great defense there from Marcassini. Notice how she knows when to close the space, when to go for the tackle. Her timing is impeccable.
She did not give Means any opportunity on that angle to cut back. McCamey handles the cross with ease.
So we've seen the Hoyas generate a couple of really good opportunities when they're playing on this right flank. They've done a good job of getting wide and then attacking, especially out of the counter. That is where they want to punish you, is on the counterattack.
They can move the ball forward so fast off the counter. Eliza Turner, number 8 in the middle, so effective at flipping the field when they have to. Tippins playing back to goal, sends it wide. Looking for a runner. Lizzie Heller was there, never got through. Kate Toomey collects for Marcassini. Koumans, too short for her. Lawson Rennie takes it away. There is Turner, who had both goals in the 2-2 draw against South Carolina. There's McNabb. One-on-one with Means. Means takes it away and looked like she stepped on Koumans' ankle in the process. Drew Koumans, who was knocked to the turf earlier in this first half, very slow to get up. She is up now on the near side.
Yeah, walking a bit gingerly, especially with the spikes at the bottom of those cleats. They hurt.
Here's how it happened. Camera right on top of it. And yeah, it looks like the right heel of Means just comes down on the foot of Koumans. Sean Driscoll leading this Princeton side. 97 career wins, second all-time in Tiger history. Win number 96, by the way, came against the all-time winningest Tiger coach, Julie Shackford. Had 203 wins with the Tigers, and now leading William and Mary. Another collision in the midfield. A couple of Tigers coming together, and everybody appears okay. It looks like
Man, I believe that's
Wong
Koumans
and
again.
Koumans. Yeah, she came together with Kayla Wong on kind of a broken play. That's a goal kick off McNabb. Ellen Carter getting back. The thing that worries you there, if you're Princeton, with Koumans getting banged around a little bit in the first half, is they are relying so much on her speed. And that second time that she went down was, getting a spike to her foot. So they hope, if you're Princeton, that that's not going to hamper her legs at all.
Koumans has already missed a game this season with an injury. She was out with a concussion protocol, and you just want her to stay healthy.
Nifty move by Shea Montgomery, sending it long to Claire Manning.
Really
Wozniak
nice
is back.
Manning is very good one-on-one, so it's great when they can play that ball wide to her.
Can Means chase this down in the corner? No. Just out over the touchline. By the way, our referee tonight, Mike DeFelice. Great crowd here at Roberts Stadium. Watching the Tigers and the Hoyas. Picture perfect Sunday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. Mike DeFelice is the referee, and on the lines, the assistant referees, Anthony Procopio Jr. and Zachary Rubinich, with the fourth official, John Antonoro. Manning was there, turned away by Brown.
Yeah, very dangerous. But Manning, though, what a great run that she made on the ball. She forced the defender to kind of bump her off a line a little bit. And you see how dangerous Maya Larner can be on that right side when she gets those crosses off. There is someone always for Georgetown running on the other end of it.
Claire Manning has been all over the 18 so far today, always in a dangerous spot. She has a really powerful right leg to let one fly from deep. It is surprising, not only that she hasn't scored this year, but hasn't scored a goal since the 2022 season. 23-game goalless drought for her, but it feels like a matter of time before number 10 gets one.
Yeah, I think as an athlete, we all have experienced, some type of drought within your career, right? When maybe you're not playing the way that you want to, or the game has changed, your role has changed. And so I think, like you mentioned, she generates a ton of opportunities, and the selflessness that the Hoyas play with, it's bound to happen as long as she continues to stay on the pitch. But she still continued to get better and to be an integral part of this team this season. Oh, great idea there. Better defense from the Tigers.
Summer Pearson was there to take away that through ball. Toomey sending it long. Harwood chasing it down.
So to me, this is the difference in the game right now, that when the Hoyas are able to win the ball, especially in the midfield, they're playing to feet and they're looking to advance up the pitch, right, and become dangerous in the final third. For the Tigers, I'm just seeing too many long balls and playing direct and then not finding someone on the other side of it. So you're giving the ball right back. I'd like to see a more possession-based team right now for the second half of this first half if you're the Tigers.
That's what the Tigers like to be, possession-based, and get a lot of touches in the attacking third. They have not had much of that.
Now that's a dangerous giveaway.
Lardner, edge of the 18. Trying to find Turner. Chased away by McNabb, who has had to play some center back this year, playing an attacking mid today, but has had to play some center back with the various injuries that the Tigers have had on the back line. Sean Driscoll has had to do a lot of mixing and matching with his personnel. Injuries, plus, of course, Zoe Marcassini not being available, playing with Canada. They're mixing and matching up front as well because Pietra Torton playing with USA. Koemans enters speed, pestering Lawson Rennie. And Rennie, the grad transfer from Tennessee, who led the Vols in minutes in 2 of the last 3 years, is the veteran presence they need to handle that with composure.
There was definitely emphasis for the Tigers to play to Koemans in space where she can use her speed. Coach Driscoll felt like she is the type of player that can break down the back line of the Hoyas, but you just haven't seen those type of opportunities yet for her.
It's like she just does not have the running room to get it done yet. Now, part of that could be she's had a lot of touches so far, so maybe playing a little more away from the ball if the Tigers can flip the field to the right side and give Koemans some running room in the lanes.
Yeah, I think you've got to find space for her first. You've got to create space, draw attention to one side, maybe find her on the other, or she can make some diagonal holding runs. See this one like here, that's a good ball.
Koemans in the box, trying to let one go. Kara Martin all over it. The defense came back quickly for Georgetown.
Yeah, so there, right, they play the ball in the middle of the pitch. That way she has space to run onto it. Either way it goes. It's a beautiful ball from the back. Takes a nice bounce. I thought she should have tried to take a shot on goal here, then cuts it back. Not able to get as much power behind it. And an easy save there for Martin, but a good opportunity for the Tigers.
Kelsey Wozniak on that ball. Played long ahead for Koemans, and one of the better chances the Tigers have had, just could not connect it in the final third. Brown trying to make a run forward, draws the foul.
We also haven't seen a ton of set pieces yet either, something that both teams wanted to generate more of, felt confident in going into this match.
Yeah, for Dave Nolan, because Georgetown is so good at attacking on set pieces, and for Sean Driscoll because Georgetown has struggled in defending set pieces so far this year. Look, the Hoyas have only allowed 4 goals this year, but 3 of them have been on set pieces. Look at that run by Natalie Means in between Wong and McNabb, and still the Hoyas able to get it forward. Can Manning run under that? Yes.
Oh, and then gets it back. Good hustle there from Claire Manning.
Winning off of Wozniak. Now Montgomery, back to goal, gets free, flips the field for Means. Natalie Means with her left deflected, and McCamey hangs on.
This is where the Hoyas can be dangerous, is those balls across, and then watch the cut back here just to get an angle for Means. That deflection could have been dangerous, but great job by McCamey to keep her eyes on the prize. Scoop it
Shotgun
up.
piece of Heather McNabb on the way in.
And you see Means, she doesn't need a lot of time or space. That was a quick cut back to get it on her left and fire one on goal. Those deflections there can be so dangerous, especially if your teammates are in the box, and they were.
That play all started from the midfield and a great individual effort by Natalie Means to split two midfielders for Princeton. Start the run for Georgetown.
Nice, beautiful flick.
Barry across for McNabb. We're going to have to settle here.
She's got time, little overlapping run. Marcassini had the idea, but better defense there from Means. Talk about how important two-way players are at this level. Again, Means, one of the ball winners in the midfield for the Hoyas, can defend with the best of them.
Yeah, and she has to at times because they play that three-back. You will see Means be as effective in the attacking third as she is filling in on the back three. Now a chance for Tippins, but Wozniak is there to deny.
I love, though, the aggressive play from Henley Tippins just to take it yourself 1v1, especially as the defender is backpedaling to try and make a decisive move to the left. I think her touch was a little heavy, but again, some of those opportunities that can be generated with the quickness of the Hoyas.
Marcassini, backline starter for Canada in the U20 World Cup, her first match back today with Princeton. Long couple of days of travel, 2 days of flights to get here from Colombia. Canada with a nice run, got to the knockout stage, ousted by Spain.
Coach Driscoll said he gave her a quick pregame chat, said, "We're so happy to have you back, and go be you."
A lot of experience already for Zoe Marcassini on the international stage. U20 World Cup starter with Canada this year. She'd been the captain of the U17 team in the Under-17 World Cup for Canada in 2022. First substitution of the game is for Georgetown. This is Cyan Doyle, who scored the equalizer against the Tigers back in 2021. Game that ended in a 1-1 draw. She'll come on for Henley Tippins.
I thought Tippins gave some really good energy on the ball for the Hoyas in this first half.
Playing centrally in the attack. Means plays it back to Ellen Carter. Turned over.
Oh, good step by Lardner.
Lardner taking that one right off the foot of Summer Pearson. There is Lardner again. Tigers trying to take away the passing lanes. Means. Again, 1v1 with Marcassini. Means to the end line, and there's the speed and angle of Zoe Marcassini to cut her off.
Yeah, I thought Means there just ran out of real estate a little bit, and Marcassini so good at closing space, forcing the offensive player to only use that outside channel. Means couldn't really cut back inside there.
A staple of these matchups so far between the two number sixes is Marcassini taking away the cutback for Means. Marcassini, Doyle wins it away. Now here's Turner. 3 Tigers converging to take away that space from Turner, taking away the exact area of the field from which she scored both goals against South Carolina.
I was just going to say, there's such an intention right now to close down that gap between the midfield and the back line for the Tigers. They are really making sure they track back and stay compact.
How can they get it forward with Wozniak? Speaking of pressure, Georgetown closing down that midfield space.
Yeah, I think if you're Princeton right now, you got to look to get wide and stay wide. Play with the flanks. Oh, they
Given
can put that
away.
on goal.
Montgomery. Means in the box. Means to cross. Pass was just a little bit behind.
Great idea. Great ball by Montgomery. You see Means using her speed.
Pass was looking for Lardner. Marcassini, tandem defense with Koumans, who gets it now. Means backtracking.
See there, I feel like that's where Drew Koumans needs to just be on the ball and take it wide. Then hold the ball up and wait for your teammates to make their runs.
Another Georgetown takeaway in the attacking third. Lizzie Heller, methodical. Heller, 1v2, puts it to a dangerous area, turned away by Pearson.
Feeling like the Hoyas are gaining a bit of momentum here towards the end of this first half.
Smelling blood with these chances and giveaways. Edge of the 18. That was Manning, couldn't get it. Wozniak, Doyle, fresh into the game. They'll settle. Played over for Means. Means the cross, headed on. McCamey dives on top of the header by Doyle.
Really nice cross here from Natalie Means. You mentioned the sun being a factor. That's an awesome chance at a header there. I believe that's Montgomery. Does a great job of getting on the other side of it, but a great job as well for the Tigers in just marking up, making sure that Doyle was not left free to get that header off.
Now Princeton having trouble escaping this high press by Georgetown. Barry into open space for Pearson. Marcassini. McNabb. Out for a Georgetown throw. Both teams making changes now. There's Jocelyn Lohmeyer in for Georgetown. Brooke Dawaher in for Princeton. Marcassini couldn't get through three gray shirts. Natalie Means.
Man, she wins another one-on-one battle.
And gets it to Claire Manning. Manning letting one fire, but well wide.
It's good one-on-one defense there from Wozniak, understanding the scout, knowing that Manning will take those chances. She applied the right amount of pressure, didn't allow her to get a clear, good strike off at goal.
Nice early evening in Princeton. Perfect day to lounge out and watch some high caliber women's soccer. Princeton picked third in the Ivy League this year. Made it to another NCAA tournament last year. Georgetown, 10 straight trips to the NCAA tournament. We mentioned 4 consecutive Big East tournament titles. And they're changing things around again. In the last few minutes, Claire Manning is out. And into the match is Esme Bradshaw. There's a couple of goals this year against Pepperdine and Quinnipiac.
So Manning actually stays. It's Means who went off, and Manning is now moved to the right side.
Good catch. So that is a formation change. So now Manning will fill that Means spot. And I wonder what that means for the point of attack for Georgetown in the last few minutes. Right now it's still on that right wing. They connect it to Manning. Gets the step around Koumans. Cross is cut out by Ryan Brown. McNabb on the double team, and the Tigers win that. Boy, what a play by McNabb to get her foot on it off a gray jersey and out.
Yeah, shielded her body at the last second. That good footwork. Feel like the Tigers need to win more of those 50-50s. But I tell you what, though, the score is still 0-0. I mean, this kind of resembles how the South Carolina game felt for the Hoyas in their last game, right? It was 0-0 at halftime, but you felt like Georgetown had created more opportunities and enough maybe to at least have put one in the back of the net.
Georgetown making another change. Mary Cochran coming into the match. Former North Jersey Player of the Year. Her time at Ramapo. She's in for Shea Montgomery. Lohmeyer turning with it. Heller. Georgetown has had Princeton chasing the back half of this opening half. Marcassini easily collects that. Now the Tigers trying to get bodies forward. Koemans couldn't get on the other end of it.
Yeah, and see, I think the opportunity there is to play wide to feet to McNabb and then try to get Koemans with space. Good job by McNabb, though, to win it back.
Lawson Rennie stepping in and called for the foul. There was a beautiful play by McNabb. Rennie stepping into her to slow the momentum, but the Tigers now get a set piece. And I think importantly, they get possession here.
Yeah, it's a reward to McNabb just on the work that she was doing, not giving it up, trying to win some more of those balls in the midfield.
Marcassini to the edge of the 18. Doyle trying to go long forward. It is Lohmeyer. Lohmeyer in the box, cuts it back. Lohmeyer right in front of McCamey. The whistle, the foul, and a real chance here for Georgetown.
And it's the beauty of the counterattack. And Jocelyn Lohmeyer gets it with space here. Now watch as she drives it down, gets the edge in front of the defender, and then the cut back here is what draws the foul, ultimately leading to a penalty kick opportunity. Great work there by Lohmeyer. A tremendous just one-on-two battle.
And it is Eliza Turner at the spot. She scores! McCamey guessed right. Turner's shot perfectly placed. And the Hoyas have the lead on Eliza Turner's third straight goal.
Eliza Turner picks the left corner, nice and low, nice and hard. Steps up with confidence and puts it in the back of the net. She's one of the big three of this three-headed monster for the Hoyas and gets her third goal of the season.
She had both goals against South Carolina. Both of those goals went the opposite way, by the way. They both went to Turner's right, the goalie's left, but McCamey guessed right here and drilled one right past her.
Yeah, I mean, she is now emerging as the best footer for this team in terms of set pieces and free kick opportunities and what she's been able to do. We talked to Dan Nolan before that game versus South Carolina, and that was an area of concern, saying we've always been good at this and someone hasn't stepped up yet to show themselves. And then Eliza Turner answered the call last game and has continued that this game. We mentioned that the momentum felt like it was starting to swing the Hoyas' way. Now they put one in the back of the net. It's all about the response of the Tigers. How can you finish out this last 9 minutes and 46 seconds of the first half?
And can the Tigers get some semblance of possession at the end of this first half? Georgetown has really dominated the last 20 minutes or so. Tigers get a break with a foul there. Princeton had a lot of possession, a lot of the ball, a lot in the attacking third in the first 10 minutes of this match, and that has withered away. Still just a 1-0 lead for Georgetown, but it has very much felt like the Hoyas have all of the ball and all of the chances. Barry with a cross. Dangerous in with Wong unrushing. Turned away. That was well played at the back by Esme Bradshaw.
A really good cross from Barry. And a great job by Wong just to be dangerous. See where here gets the one time on it, gets her hips around it, and great job by Wong. You have to rush that.
Brayshaw with the play defensively. Tigers make a couple of substitutions now. Pia Bollier is in, and Dylan Jovanovic, who missed the Drexel game. So that is a big addition for the Tigers to get Jovanovic back, a freshman who has factored so much into the offensive attack for the Tigers so far. There's a turnover. Dawaher, can she make something happen? Played wide. Wong in the box. Wong lets one go! Off the post, deflected, and Martin has it. Oh my goodness. A pinball play, and the Hoyas stay in front.
Wow. Here, a dangerous giveaway. Good takeaway by Dawaher, and I love that she stays aggressive here. Plays the ball forward. Wong gets it on her foot. The left post, and then it bounces right back in the hands of Martin. Oh, that was a gift from the soccer gods.
Jovanovic was right there, too, but it found Martin's mitts instead of her foot. Carter keeps it alive off Jovanovic and out.
And we've talked to Dave Nolan, head coach of Georgetown, and he's told us that a couple of goals this season have come just like that. The wrong bounces have gone their way, and the other team has punished them. That time, the Tigers so close, but great job by Martin to stay reactive, to keep her eyes on the ball.
Kara Martin, who may only have 7 minutes left to play in this match if the rest of this season's usage is any indication. Anna Karpenko likely to play the second half in what has been a split goalie situation for Georgetown. And Kara is intent on keeping this lead before handing the baton.
It's a good response as well from the Tigers. A team is most dangerous right after they score because they're feeling good and they let up a little bit.
Cochran. Turner, the goal scorer, on the penalty kick off of the foul that was won by Jocelyn Lohmeyer. That's the only goal so far. Brayshaw. Edge of the 18, Jovanovic wins it away from Heller. Help D coming from Pearson. Marcassini. Taken away by Cochran. Jovanovic is there. Carter jostling with her. Cochran slips one through the legs of Dawaher. Out wide. Cross cut out neatly. That's well played by Summer Pearson. Heller. Doyle plays 1-2 with Cochran, and her little chip pass was probably intended for Brayshaw, who wasn't making a run.
Yeah, I thought Brayshaw should have made that run actually and should have called for an overlap. But good opportunities there for the Hoyas. A better job defensively, though, for the Tigers. I thought they stayed more compact. Their support was better, and they were on the second ball.
Here is Lohmeyer.
Oh,
Again,
man.
Marcassini.
You see how dangerous Marcassini is. She's so good at tracking back, anticipating where the offense wants to go.
Now, there is no out of position for Zoe Marcassini. She gets back into position very fast.
Man, just covers ground so quickly.
Turned over again. Here's Carter. Carter chased down by Dawaher. Jovanovic backtracking to take it away. See the strength of Dylan Jovanovic there. Rennie chased by McNabb with under 4 to play in the first half.
And this is where the Tigers can press up a bit, get back to their high line.
Which we saw so much of early in this half. Marcassini getting tangled there. Cochran wins it, plays long. Lohmeyer. She's 1v1 with Summer Pearson. Lohmeyer gets around Pearson. Lohmeyer! Oh, sent it wide.
Man, Jocelyn Lohmeyer is itching to create another goal for the Hoyas. Watch here, the step over, cuts inside, gets it on her left. That thing is a little bit wide. Couple more inches, and that would have been 2-0 Hoyas.
Lefty on lefty there. Lohmeyer against Pearson. And that was some cutback to get around the right foot of Pearson and get that shot free.
Man, when players are able to create opportunities just 1v1, where all you have to do is beat your defender, get them off balance, and put one on goal, it is such a luxury, and that comes with almost every Hoya player on the pitch. They can create for themselves.
Yeah, shows the depth of this team, because we did not speak the name Jocelyn Lohmeyer a whole lot in the beginning of this game. She came off the bench. She has not been one of the marquee offensive players for this team, but she created the penalty kick that led to the Eliza Turner goal, and she almost scored a second there for Georgetown.
Yeah, and as a substitution, I mean, you're normally worried about the starting 11 and kind of the big name, so to speak. So she comes off the bench, and she just does her work. Created that penalty kick opportunity where she went 1-on-2 and was able to draw the foul in the box. And then we just saw her there in space 1v1 and what she's capable of. Really like what I'm seeing out of Lohmeyer.
Turned over to Wong. McNabb. One-on-one with Rennie. To the edge of the 18, nothing happening there. Doyle. Wozniak tracking back, spinning one away from Brayshaw. Brown. Martin will slow things down. Last 90 seconds of the first half. McNabb urging her to pick things up a little bit. Only goal of the first half, Eliza Turner's penalty kick. She has the last 3 markers for Georgetown, including the 2 goals against the Gamecocks Thursday in South Carolina. Doyle. Heller. Possession game for Georgetown to wind down this clock, see if they can get one more look at Cage. Carter. Pearson is step for step with Lohmeyer. Lohmeyer's got it, but she's calling for the foul. Some dissenting opinions here. One of them from Dave Nolan, unsurprisingly.
One of my favorite personalities come soccer season.
Not afraid to tell you what he thinks. Jocelyn Lohmeyer again. Closed down by Marcassini. Help D from Bryan.
I thought Lohmeyer should have tried to get to a little bit of space, but I understand just holding it up. No rush there. It was a beautiful first half from the Hoyas. A lot of that credit to Lohmeyer and her energy off the bench.
And the Tigers with some things to sort out defensively to get a little more possession in the attacking third. Eliza Turner with the only goal from the penalty spot, and it has the Hoyas up 1-0 after 45. On the campus of Princeton University. Georgetown ice with a lot of the ball and almost all of the chances in half number 1. Tyler McCamey had to come up big a couple times.
Yeah, I thought the Hoyas did a great job of doing what they do, generating multiple opportunities here. A lot of that was due to Natalie Means, who went 1v1 several times on that right side. She's so dangerous on the ball, but then the lone goal started from the activity of the freshman off the bench, and Jocelyn Lohmeyer. Look at her cut the angle, then cut back, and she draws the foul. It's later Eliza Turner who scores her 3rd goal in a row this season for the Hoyas. She is playing at the top of her game. But the Tigers bounce back, though, and that's what's so important is when the other team scores first, it's how you bounce back, and they remain dangerous.
Yeah, Kara Martin having to make a couple of saves. You saw one there. The Tigers were buzzing, and they had one really close call on a turnover. It was taken over by Brooke Daugher, creating this chance, and watch how close this was to being a 1-1 game.
Yeah, really nice idea by Kayla Wong. It hits the inside of the post and bounces back to Martin. You see total shots here. Georgetown dominated that and put 4 on goal. Only 1 corner kick, though. So surprised because, again, this is a team that generates them with the best in the country. But you're looking for the Tigers here in this second half to generate more corner kicks or set piece opportunities, something that they have scored off of as of late.
Halftime stats presented by Ironworkers Local 399, local skilled craftsmen who are building Princeton's future. Georgetown, as expected, making a goalie change. They have done this every match this year. Kara Martin starting. Anna Karpenko, the former Harvard Crimson goalkeeper, getting the start in the second half for the Hoyas. She won the Ivy Tournament title last year, in part because she helped beat the Tigers last year, beating them in the semifinals and then beating Columbia in the finals. She is playing for the 4th time in her career now against the Tigers, this time in a Hoya uniform. Let's see what Sean Driscoll and the Tigers can cook up in half number 2 against what has been a very difficult Hoya side. You see Jocelyn Lohmeyer, who created the chance for the penalty. Does Sean Driscoll make a formation change in half number 2? He made a formation change to a 4-4-2 to combat the 3-5-2 of Georgetown. It did not work out in half number 1, but they've got some other options that they worked on in training they can go to, and one of the changes is Dylan Jovanovic starting in the second half. She came off the bench in half number 1 after missing the Drexel match.
Yeah, it seemed like she was really just starting to establish her rhythm towards the end of that first half, so you might just want her to pick up where she left off. Some fresher legs, bring a different perspective.
And without Jovanovic, it was a formation change for the Tigers that got them the comeback win against Drexel on Thursday. They changed to a 4-1-3-2. The Tigers felt really good about making that change. The team felt comfortable in that formation, and they scored 2 quick goals to overcome a 1-goal deficit. This is a Tigers team, by the way, that has been behind or tied at halftime a lot. They've only led at halftime 1 time this year, despite being 4-1 this season. Their only halftime lead against William and Mary.
Yeah, and Coach Driscoll pointed that out to us. And talking about their identity, that's not something that you want to routinely happen, but this young team is trying to figure it out. But they've been resilient in the second half of those games and have put balls in the back of the net when they needed to.
Missing 8 starters from last year. A lot of changes, including, we mentioned before at the break, Madison Curry, one of the top picks in the NWSL draft, 4th round last year, has had a great start to her pro career. Obviously missing her, missing Pietra Torton, playing with Team USA in the Under-20 World Cup. Got Zoe Marcassini back today from her time with Canada at the Under-20 World Cup, and they've got some injuries at the back line as well. So very much trying to figure out what works for them before Ivy League play opens soon. Maya Lardner for Lizzie Heller. Wozniak. Turner right on it. Kylie Hamu, who we did not see in the first half. On the ball on the near side. Thrown right over her head there. To Lardner, who just cannot keep it in. Late whistle. Montgomery. Couldn't slice through. Well defended there by Pia Bollier. Georgetown still with it. Here's Turner. Chased down by Barry. Turner now chased off the ball by Jovanovic. They flip the field, though, as they have always done so successfully. Got a one-on-one out wide. Means firing one right in front of Cage. Tippins tried to get her foot on it. That would have been a gorgeous crossing goal for the Hoyas.
Yeah, I thought these two connected well in the first half. Means to Tippins. Good cross. You see Tippins runs on it, just not able to get her body behind it. But beautiful service there from Means. The timing was there.
And Tippins causing a ruckus at the back there with Ryan Brown. Can the Tigers get forward? That is something that the Tigers will have to be very wary of. Natalie Means' ability to get out wide and make dangerous crosses. Tangle in the midfield. That's going to be a foul on Daher.
And Daher here just comes in a bit late on Turner.
Early second half possession favoring Georgetown as it did for most of the first half. Lawson Rennie. Turned away by Wozniak. Turner. Forced away by Pia Bollier. The Tigers are taking away the space on the wings very well, but this is the type of game they'd like to be playing on the other side of the pitch, and it just has not happened for them with little possession.
Yeah, but they just have to stay patient, continue to defend as a team, and stay compact, right? You want to bait the Hoyas into giving you the ball back because they get tired of being patient and playing east to west. And then when you're the Tigers, once you win that ball, play to feet, advance up the pitch, and look to score.
There is always a chance to catch Georgetown on the counter, given that they play a three-back. And it is a three-back that's somewhat aggressive, so you can get numbers forward quickly and create a chance.
Yeah, and especially when the Georgetown midfielders and fullbacks like to play so high up, like to do a lot of overlapping runs. You can catch those three in the back on a counter isolated if you're clever enough. Good job. See, they play inside to outside.
Manning on the pass by Montgomery. Here's Lardner. Turning try gets blocked.
And how beautiful and quick, though, was that turn from Maya Lardner. Good defense, though, by the Tigers.
Leading scorer has 4 goals this year, 2 each against Sacred Heart and Lafayette. Brown and Marcassini were on the spot. Barry. Taken away by Ellen Carter. Heller. Montgomery. Thought she had a run from Tippins, but it's cut out.
Yeah, Tippins is so active in that forward position. She does a great job of making herself a target, continues to make diagonal runs to slip behind the defense.
Now Manning. One-on-one past Hamu. Hamu wins it. And the Tigers trying to turn it upfield with Bollier. Not a whole lot of space. Tigers painted toward the sidelines by Georgetown.
Ooh.
They have space now. Hamu. Jovanovic was making a run. Koumans. Couldn't work around Heller. Barry is slow to get up after a collision, and now she is back down on a knee. See Barry, 27, limping around. She is having a hard time putting pressure on that left leg. See her saying, "I'm okay." Trying to walk it off. Here's how that happened.
Yeah, it was a dangerous one-on-one tackle right here. The step from Erica Harwood, a very physical player. And Barry just a little slow to get up, says she's okay, walking it off. Times though, those tackles, especially when your leg and in your body direction is going in one way, the offensive player is going in the other. Takes a second to recover.
One of the top recruits in a highly touted recruiting class. 3-time state champ at the terrific Immaculate Heart Academy program here in the Garden State. But you can still see she's not 100%. You see her wincing there after that touch out of bounds. There is clear discomfort there from Alexandra Berry. The number 4 recruit in the state of New Jersey. Maya Lardner, stepped into by Marcassini. Jovanovic making a run around Heller. Physical play by Heller and a nice play by Jovanovic to get it wide. Marcassini now. Princeton effectively playing with 10. Barry is down at midfield on a knee. Tippins, and there's the whistle. Alexandra Berry really wanted to stay in this game, but having a hard time doing so. Mike DeFelice with the whistle as Berry gets some medical attention. Laura Neff, Tigers athletic trainer. Lily Bryant will come in. Daugher gives it up. Lardner. Daugher with the play to try to get it back. Sent wide by Montgomery. Means trying to play to Tippins. Not enough mustard on it. Carter. Hamu.
Nice.
Tigers with momentum forward now.
Good.
Jovanovic making a run.
And a good ball into space.
Truman's in the box. Tigers getting more numbers in the box. Jovanovic cross cut out by Rennie. Bollier couldn't turn it onto the foot of Koumans.
It's just such great pressure from the Hoyas, and then they play out of it into space.
With Lardner. Down the wing, Lardner, dangerous cross, oh, right through the goal mouth. McCamey trying to get her mitts on it as crashing into the cage was
it's
one of the
Tippins.
Hoyas.
Yeah, it's Tippins again that's on the intended target for this. Oh, the deflection there from McCamey was needed. I think that would have been a goal without it. Great awareness there from McCamey. How dangerous, though, that ball from Maya Lardner.
Man, Henley Tippins making a couple of great runs. Natalie Means almost found her earlier this half.
That was a 2-on-4. Beautiful almost execution.
On the corner. Flicked on McCamey! Punches it over cage. Wow!
Again, Maya Lardner. Look at the degree of difficulty to use her heel, folks, and flick that behind. Brilliant idea.
Another corner for Georgetown. Headed McCamey off the bar and turned away. Are you kidding?
Man, Tyler McCamey is fighting for her life in goal.
Give the Tigers credit on this. Outside of what McCamey just did, that's 2 straight corners for Georgetown. They haven't had a lot of those today. That's only their 3rd. Now they're going to get a 4th.
But you see why when they generate their corners, they're so dangerous. Here's the last save from McCamey. Oh, her fingertips. That hits the post and comes back down. Wow.
Hoyas 10th in the nation in corners per game. This one going near post, and here comes the onslaught of corner kicks. Brown sends that one out.
Tell you what, though, now it's Shea Montgomery on the service. She's put a couple really nice balls right in the heart of the defense.
Into the teeth of the box now. Rennie, edge of the 18. Hit a heel, almost found Means. Turner. Montgomery. To the 6. Bryant, step for step with Lawson Rennie. And the Tigers thought they got a little relief. They wanted a goal kick. It's another corner.
And you feel like if you're the Tigers right now, you are holding your breath.
Clinging to this 1-goal deficit by the fingertips of Tyler McCamey, who's made 2 miraculous saves. A barrage of Hoya corners. Here comes another. Montgomery, the service. Little outswinger headed by Heller. Almost a double header and parried away.
Great job by the Tigers. Now can they press, though?
Slipped ahead by Harwood. Heller the cross. Nothing on it. Koemans. Woodworked twice in this game. 1 for each side. Karpenko gets her first touch.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the mindset right now, if you're the Tigers, that you just survived back-to-back-to-back attacks. I mean, really good opportunities put together for the Hoyas. Not able to finish, though.
Yeah, what do you make of this if you're Princeton? Can you turn those McCamey saves into a chance the other way? Here's Tippins for Lardner. Brown is right there with her.
Oh, good step by Means.
Means, oh, not enough on that.
Yeah, but see, if you're the Tigers, this is where you have to be on high alert, right? You mentioned smelling blood several times. I mean, that is truly the DNA of the Hoyas. As soon as they get a little bit of momentum, they are coming at you. They are banking on you, breaking down, getting tired, getting laps, not making a strong pass, and then they're going to punish you.
Hey, you can't be flat-footed. What Means just did there
Man.
to pick up a ball that could have been 50-50 and just strip it from the Princeton back line to create that chance. Another set piece. Montgomery to the penalty area. McCamey again on a deflection. You know, it's interesting because Georgetown and Dave Nolan have been trying to improve on their set piece work. These look pretty good in this second half. They lost their set piece specialist to graduation. Julia Lee is now playing professionally in Sweden. Looking pretty good in the second half tonight. Koemans. Knocked off the ball by Rennie, but now a Tiger corner. This will be their first corner kick of the match.
And that's an improvement right there for the Tigers to win the ball and then to advance forward to get Drew Koemans in some space where she can make things happen. Now you got McNabb on the service inside. She's been terrific all season. Let's see if they can generate something here in the box.
All the bodies in the box now in front of Anna Karpenko, who was so good on Thursday at South Carolina in a 2-2 draw. Good service, back post, off the head of Daugherty, and it will go for a Tiger corner. Must have taken a deflection off a Hoya head last. That was close. The initial head was from that of Daugherty on a 50-50 with Tippins, and I guess Tippins got her head on it to send it out.
Yeah, Coach Driscoll telling his players, we got to be brave with service in the box. Look to be aggressive and get on the other side of it.
Played toward Marcassini. Boy, what a welcome back that would be from the Under-20 World Cup. Cross from Hamu. Tiger corner again. Their third in a row, and here comes the pressure.
Got instruction from the sideline of the Tigers for Heather McNabb to put it on the goalkeeper. McNabb to put it on the goalkeeper. And I like that again because of the sun. It is directly in the face of the keeper for the Hoyas.
It was a near post service on Thursday in Columbia that got South Carolina one of its 2 goals. Karpenko was basically pushed into the cage. Here's the service to the back post, headed over goal. Zoe Marcassini right on the spot.
Really good service, though. Back post for McNabb. Marcassini gets on it, not able to direct it down on goal, but a good opportunity and a good sequence of corners, good pressure, a little bit of a momentum swing here, possibly for the Tigers.
Allie Murphy now in for Dylan Jovanovic. Karpenko over the ball now. If you watched that South Carolina game, much different experience than if you just looked at the box score. She played the second half. That was the half where the Gamecocks scored both of their goals, including a late goal on a set piece to end up with a 2-2 draw. She made 5 saves in that half, 4 of them very high difficulty.
Like real saves.
Like really on a break, coming out of her cage, having to challenge, fingertip saves, diving, sprawling saves, ridiculous. And the 2 goals she gave up, we mentioned the one on the corner that she was basically pushed into her goal, could do nothing about. The other is set piece that was a mismarking on Kat Berry, who's one of the best goal scorers in the SEC. 6-foot leading scorer for the Gamecocks was left alone in front of the goal. Nothing at fault from Karpenko in her 45 minutes of duty on Thursday. Tigers trying to knock at her door now with Murphy. Allie Murphy fresh off the bench. Murphy trying to cut back on Carter. Lawson Rennie is there.
I think I would have liked to see a shot on goal there from Murphy, just on that left foot, put it on the keeper. Again, the sun being a factor. Yeah, but going back to Coach Nolan against the Gamecocks, he mentioned that how happy he was at his back line. He thought that, it's a tough team to keep quiet. And then he said the same versus Penn State. Thought that Emily Royson and Rennie did a good job as well.
And they're doing a nice job when asked to step up tonight. I know they have not had as much pressure as they did against South Carolina or Penn State, and they're doing so again without Royson, the Duke transfer, who had been pretty instrumental to that back 3. 3-time NCAA quarterfinal entrant with the Blue Devils. Her old team, by the way, having a pretty nice start of the year. They just knocked off number 2 UNC a few days ago. Here's Lardner. Lardner into the box. Lardner crossed right into the midst of McCamey. Right on top of her angle, no problem.
Yeah, I think Lardner a few times has taken that angle, but then crossed the ball back. Instead, that time she took it herself. Again, just trying to keep the keeper on her toes.
Marcassini turning the Jets on upfield. Bryant looking for Coumans. Couldn't get around Rennie, who plays it out, but that is more of the game the Tigers wanted to play. The speed of Coumans, the one-on-one ability down the flank by Bryant, connecting those 2.
Yeah, I agree. Starting to put together some of those sequences. Definitely see the halftime adjustments from the Tigers. Things have looked a bit smoother offensively.
Bryant battling with Means, and it is Bryant who's called for the foul. Down in the corner there with Lardner. Marcassini wins it away from Lardner. Boy, that was a lot of pressure. Dribbling out of it, Ryan Brown. She needed to. Koumans right on it, but she was offside by a step, but that is the look the Tigers have wanted.
I'm going to say you can see the improvements. You can see exactly what they're looking for. That's Bryant over the top. Yeah, just by a step. Koumans needed to hold her run. And then I love that she tried to get the shot off quickly, little volley. You're exactly right. Those are the opportunities the Tigers are looking to generate more of. Oh, another tough step there from Ryan Brown. She has been exceptional.
And it has to start with winning those 50-50s at the back line, which is not easy to do against the pressure and skill of Georgetown. Koumans again, and they're winning the field position battle here. Harwood sends it out.
And I think that's the matchup really that the Hoyas want, is to have Erica Harwood around Koumans, one of their best defenders, does a great job of using her body and physicality to win the ball.
Henley Doyle in for, or Cyan Doyle, excuse me, in for Henley Tippins for Georgetown. Kayla Wong comes in for Pia Bollier. Hamu out wide. Cross toward Karpenko, and she picks it out of the air. Tigers had a chance. That was a nice looking cross.
Oh, so close here for the Tigers. Great ball outside, the one touch forward. Really nice service. And then McNabb was on the other side of that thing, almost ready to go. Good service there from Hamu, and it was the step from Toomey.
And Koumans uses those wheels to get under that thing. Cross coming to Karpenko. Loose ball, and she's right on top of it again. McNabb comes crashing in.
And Karpenko now getting so much attention in the second half. Here, Koumans gets some space. Nice cross right to the 6 area. It's McNabb running on it as she runs into Karpenko, and then she scoops it up. And then Karpenko a little slow to get up, actually still down as the athletic trainer comes out. Looked like she took a hit there from McNabb.
Maddie Bozick, the trainer for Georgetown, to take a look at McNabb, to take a look at Karpenko after McNabb came barreling in. Saw Dave Nolan talking with the officials about that collision. Here it is again from another angle.
Yeah, it just looks like it's a hard hit. Maybe an awkward landing as well on that left hip.
She was stretching out that leg back and forth. Might have been a hip. She's doing some mobility work now in front of trainer Maddie Bozick and referee Mike DeFelice.
Also really good defense from Ellen Carter, number 24, that was matched up with McNabb. That's why it's so important to have your mark, to make sure that you've got that physical body contact. I think if Heather was open and free on that, when we're talking about a different situation right now.
Kara Martin was ready to get back out there, put the gloves on, took them back off. Neither Martin nor Karpenko has played a full 90 this year. Again, they have split every game. Karpenko has played the second half in all but one game. She started the Quinnipiac contest. This is her 7th time playing the second half.
Yeah, and I think about what, Dave Nolan told us, right, going into this game. He said you can never have too many goalkeepers. He's learned from experience that injuries happen, and that was the reason for bringing in Karpenko, the transfer from Harvard, to compete against Martin, for them two to make each other better. And he's found a really good situation with 2 high-level goalkeepers. In fact, thinks that they can be the best ones in the Big East.
And we mentioned Allie Auger had been the starter the last few years for Georgetown, but Kara Martin had to step in for an injured Allie Auger a couple of years ago. And now Kara Martin is going to have to come in for an injured Anna Karpenko, it looks like, because Martin's put the gloves back on. Maddie Bozic has come out again to have a look at Karpenko. Hands on her knees just outside of the 18, and still just not right. She's going to have to come out, and Martin is not going to have to come in cold, but will have to re-warm up and reacclimate herself. Got to always stay ready, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially for Karpenko. And I mean, she was getting challenged in the second half, but you hope Martin is warm and locked in, and you hope the best for Karpenko. Being visibly upset as she walks off the pitch. Really hope that she's okay.
Yeah, she looks frustrated, upset. She wanted to stay in the game and did so much work a moment ago with Maddie Bozic to try to get right. Frustrating, I'm sure, to come out after, you know, building up your training and your warm up all day to get to this second half and not be able to finish it out.
And those are the kind of plays where, there's an emphasis on protecting the goalkeeper for those reasons. You can see how easily those injuries can occur, those collisions can occur.
Doyle plays it in the air to Lohmeyer. Jocelyn Lohmeyer couldn't cut it back. It finds Cochran trying to slip one through. Nobody home. Wozniak sends it wide and out. Marcassini able to win the goal kick.
You think at this point in the match with a little over 19 minutes left, what's it going to take for the Tigers to put one in the back of the net? What do they need to do? And from what I've seen, when they've been able to get Koumans in space to play over the top in the middle of the pitch to her, they've generated good opportunities. When they've had set piece opportunities where they can get McNabb on the other side of it and have good service, they've had good opportunities. I'd like to see a little bit more from a Lily Bryan and Kayla Wong in the midfield. Can they win the ball in the midfield and look to connect and press forward? You got to think, if you're the Tigers, you got to start taking your opportunities when you generate them. Look to play forward, but play to feet.
Yeah, that was a note you had a lot in the first half. Tigers not playing to feet enough, playing too much long ball without enough purpose. McNabb for Bryant. Murphy trying to get a step around Ellen Carter. Carter tangled up, draws the foul. Murphy was hanging on for dear life.
Well, it's a good job by Carter. Does a great job of using her body, shielding, and then keeping that center of gravity to stay on the ball. Watch here as Carter shields off Murphy and then still moving forward. Yeah, a little jersey tug there.
And she's the new piece in this back line too, because she's the one stepping in for Emily Royson, who's out today. Terrific job against Murphy, who's brought a lot of energy for Princeton off the bench in the second half. That collision that forced Karpenko out of the game, Murphy was right on the scene, the second one in on that cross.
Yeah, Murphy definitely has the ability to be dangerous, often in that center forward position, so they look to her as a target.
Koumans. Tigers slowly working it up the field to a dangerous area. Can they get a cross in toward Martin? Koumans gets it back from Murphy. Koumans, back post cross. McNabb keeps it in. McNabb. Back to Marcassini. Marcassini in on Martin, no problem. And a run that just wasn't coming. Here's what Georgetown has coming up. Start a Big East play on Sunday. They've got Creighton, then Seton Hall, Dave Nolan's alma mater, and then on the road at UConn. So a return to DC at least to start Big East play for Dave Nolan's side that's been on the road a bunch lately. South Carolina and Jersey this week alone. Murphy.
Not much spacing there, though, between Murphy and McNabb.
Wong. They get space out wide now. Hamu around Manick. Hamu the cross. Dangerous back post. Bryant and a collision at the edge of the 6. 3 players down right in front of Martin. And medical attention coming. Ellen Carter the first to get up. Here's a look.
See Wong here, plays it wide. This is Hamu on the service. Oh, it looked like maybe a low challenge.
McNabb now slowly getting up.
Looks like almost a low challenge from McNabb. Watch almost the dive action here. Oh, yeah, she's falling backwards, then hits Means as Means comes down. Oh.
That was Means and McNabb that took the brunt of it. Ellen Carter in there as well.
I think Coach Nolan was saying it was a bit of a dangerous or reckless challenge. She was trying to run onto it, but it didn't really seem like she had gotten to the ball. It almost seemed like the collision had happened before the ball had gotten to Heather McNabb's area.
That 3 players going for the same ball that in reality it seemed with the trajectory of the ball, none of the 3 were going to get to realistically. So our second injury timeout of this second half looks like Means and McNabb are getting ready to come back in. They are right on the sideline. Now they will come back in. Kara Martin will pick it up as the clock restarts. Again, Martin back in the game. She started in the first half, and Georgetown has been all year playing 2 keepers, Martin to start and a Karpenko to finish, but about halfway through the second half, Karpenko injured in a similar collision, and so Martin's back in. Means down the flank. Bryant cuts out the cross. McNabb right on it. Trying to dribble out of a phone booth and does draw the foul.
Yeah, some nifty footwork in tight spaces.
Doyle looking for Lohmeyer. Second ball to Cochran. Cochran, low cross. Lohmeyer, that's blocked. Wozniak was there. Wong sends it wide.
Man, I feel like Wozniak has been everywhere defensively for the Tigers.
She has been the linchpin of this back line. A lot of shots blocked today for Wozniak in that right outside back spot. Carter. There's Lohmeyer. Shoulder to shoulder with Ryan Brown, who wins the 50-50 ball.
Yeah, that's been the difference here in this second half for the Tigers is the winning of the 50-50 balls, especially from the defense. Brown has won a ton. Good tackle, good challenge.
Lily Bryant making the play, now Coumans.
Need space here if you're the Tigers. Play to space and play forward.
They do to Hamu. Wong making a run. Rennie composed.
Yeah, Wong's got to make that run a little bit earlier. If you make the run earlier, you're now playing to feet, whereas now you're playing into space and allowing the defense to force a throw in.
Tigers just have not been able to connect it in the final third. Koeman's 1v2, that has been the numeric mismatch for the Tigers really all evening.
I thought the Hoyas have done a good job limiting her, not letting her get where she has space to attack and use her speed. She's played in tight spaces. It's not necessarily her strength.
Marcassini. Wozniak to Wong. And too far for Hamu. Fresh legs coming for Georgetown, too. Aya Hansen, who we have not seen today. Maya Lardner coming in as well.
Hey, what is freshman Jocelyn Lohmeyer checks out. Really impressed with the minutes that she played today. Obviously, she created the opportunity for that penalty kick in the first half, but even in the second, they were starting to go to her more consistently on that right side. She showed her speed, how dynamic she can be on the ball. Very big minutes for a freshman, especially against great competition, the Tigers, and on the road. It was so important for Dave Nolan to get this game on the road. I thought he got something bright out of a freshman.
Yeah, really looking for someone who wasn't Maya Lardner or Natalie Means or Eliza Turner to be on the ball in dangerous spots in the attacking third, and that was Lohmeyer. Not in one spot either, right? I think they went to her very effectively down the wing and in the middle on the attack. Lardner tangled up with Hamu. The clock beginning to bleed dry for Princeton now.
Tigers have managed to generate 2 shots on goal and 3 corners in this half. So certainly they've been more the aggressor.
Now Manning, step for step with her is Ryan Brown.
I'm telling you, Ryan Brown is not losing a one-on-one battle in this second half. She has been a wall.
She missed last year with an injury. Having her back and then Marcassini back from the Under-20 World Cup really feels like it's solidifies Princeton's back line in a way they need.
Yeah, absolutely. And to have a back line that also can be, looking to go to goal, versatile as well. That's what makes the best teams dangerous.
Another giveaway and another chance for Georgetown. Means McCamey right there.
Took a bit of a deflection, but good defense from the Tigers. You got to think now they got to generate some really good opportunities offensively, possibly look to be a little bit more aggressive. Can you find a set piece opportunity? Can you draw a few corners?
Can you force Georgetown to defend with more numbers? They have not had to in most of this second half. At times, yes. Toomey sending it long, and that's off of Harwood and out. This has been the way that Princeton has generated offense, slowly moving it upfield, getting deep throws, and not been able to make space in that attacking third. Now Isabella Garces joins.
I was wondering when Garces was going to check in. I thought that she has been such a good target for the Tigers up front. She's 6 foot, so she's a bigger target. You talk about wanting to get someone on the other side of those balls in the box that are high, maybe get a header. And there, Koeman does a good job of working hard. Drew Koemans and draws the corner, but Garces has played in 5 games. She has a goal on the season. Again, though, she's been dangerous in a few other matches offensively. It's another weapon, hopefully, for the Tigers off the bench.
The goal in her college debut, a 1-0 win over Miami. McNabb. On the corner, and Kara Martin is there, but she's grabbing her head after collecting the cross. Oh my. She went head to head with a Tiger on the back post. Here's a look.
It's beautiful service from McNabb. Martin does the right thing and goes to get it. And then you think the back of her head and the front of Marcassini hits. And she is still down. Trainer has just gotten to her, but especially when we see those injuries over the shoulders, you just start to get very cautious. And we've seen a couple of dangerous collisions that have happened here already. Karpenko out with an injury due to one dangerous collision, which is why Martin is here. And you can see the contact.
Here's another look at Marcassini coming in from behind. The intent obviously is to get the ball, and it just happens late. Freak sort of collision, and this is concussion protocol now for Kara Martin. As you mentioned, Karpenko has had to leave this game with an injury. There are two other goalies on the roster, only one of whom has played this year. Alexa Hadley, the sophomore, has played a total of 19 minutes, 7 roughly against Quinnipiac, 12 roughly against Lafayette. She would be the third option if necessary, but it looks like Kara Martin's going to be able to stay in this game. You hope that is the case. Anna Karpenko stayed in for a few minutes before she had to leave. So we will hold our breath and hope for the well-being of Kara Martin and Anna Karpenko as Martin dives on top of it with 9 minutes to go. Now Tippins to Manning. Tigers trying to get it forward. Koeman's ahead. Approaching 8 minutes to play now. Wozniak trying to keep it in. Tippins is there. To the corner flag. Deep throw for the Hoyas.
At this point, if you're the Tigers, you cannot afford dangerous giveaways, especially in their final third. How to take care of the ball.
Here's what Princeton has coming up. One last non-conference game before the start of Ivy League play. They have other non-conference games in the mix the rest of the year. You see Lafayette at the start of October, but they open Ivy League play this week at Cornell. Tigers again picked to finish third in the Ivy League, where they finished last year en route to a second round appearance in the NCAA tournament. Beat Michigan here on their home pitch before losing in PKs to Texas Tech in the second round. Tippins keeping it alive in the corner and wins a deep foul that will effectively be a corner for Georgetown.
Yeah, and I think that's what you don't want to do, right? You want to stand her up, wall up, not allow her to get out and try to win the ball.
Turner and Manning are there. Turner, the goal scorer, on a penalty kick in the first half. Gives it to Manning. Georgetown trying to milk this clock, and they're doing a very effective job of it. Tigers showed flashes with dangerous chances early on in the first half and about midway through the second half. Otherwise, Georgetown has had most of the possession, the majority of the chances. Tigers looking for one to squeak by Kara Martin. They had one get behind her that hit a post in the first half, and that's as close as they've come. An all-time series where Georgetown has won a couple in overtime. Tigers have taken one and one draw. Last time the Hoyas won a game in this matchup, by the way, 2019 in D.C. Five and a half to go. About the time when you're taking more chances forward, but it's a fine line between playing a long ball and kind of recklessly playing it forward.
I think at first you just have to get possession. And like you mentioned, the Hoyas done a great job in this last 3 to 4 minutes of maintaining possession, mucking it up, keeping it on this one side in this coffin corner, as I like to call it.
Lardner playing it to that corner. Brown trying to work it free. Coumans right on it, creating space for McNabb. They flip the field for Marcassini.
Oh, good win there by Natalie Means, man.
Now she turns it upfield. Means into the corner and plays it to the corner flag. And gave it up to Marcassini, surprisingly. I thought she would try to waste more time in the corner there.
I think she thought Heller was running onto it, possibly. Because it is one of those times in the game where if you do look to take the chance and not take it to the corner and decide to cut in, you can catch the other team, falling asleep thinking that you were only going to play in the corner. So it's clever. And Natalie Means certainly is a clever player.
She's shown that a few times tonight. Had just a brilliant cross that almost found Henley Tippins earlier. There's Georgetown still working in the dirty areas. Garces as the Tigers try to work it forward. On this near side,
I was thinking the same thing, partner.
Kylie Hamu is waiting for her chance. She has been the one who's keyed most of their chance. They just can't get it over there.
Yeah, I think you got to play. You think you got to play it over the top rather than low because the Hoyas have been so good at getting in the passing lanes this second half.
Didn't take long for you and I to have a mind meld there. Just shy of 90 minutes. Oh, Wozniak just slipped on the ball. Luckily okay. Now Lardner is going to play it toward the corner again. And just like a spike caught the turf.
I think she was trying to play it fast. Then the defense reacted. That's why composure is so important at these moments in the game. As the moments are winding down, can you have the composure to win the ball and look to play forward? And that's something this young Princeton team is just learning through experience. I mean, this was a hard, fought battle today. I thought that they showed some really good moments, generated some opportunities, just not enough.
And Georgetown has played such a complete game tonight. Start to finish, controlling the pace of play, continuing to play the way they want. They have not had to change formation once this year, playing in their 3-5-2 without having to make a switch. And Dave Nolan has to be very happy with the level of calm that his team has played with all night, despite being without one of its three on the back line.
Yeah, for sure. This is a team that has tied two tough games as of late to Penn State and South Carolina. So important for him to see if this team could get a win on the road. And they have shown strong here in New Jersey.
And defending the set piece really well tonight. The few corners the Tigers have gotten, they had that one onslaught of corners. They defended well, which has been a problem for them this year. That's the reason they lost against Pepperdine. It's the reason they tied late on Thursday at South Carolina. Tightening the screws a little bit tonight, and the Hoya faithful will go back to D.C. very pleased, it would appear. Under a minute to go. Tigers have to get anything they can forward. Here's Koumans. She's got speed. Koumans barreling in to Harwood. Koumans still not a lot of time. Under 30 seconds to play. Koumans to the corner flag with Rennie. Koumans trying to get a cross in. Wins a corner. Hang on now. They got to get this off fast. Maybe one last gasp. Heather McNabb is over it. Everybody into the box. One last ball to the back post. Martin punches it away, and Georgetown survives. It didn't feel like survival for most of the 90 minutes, but in the last 10 seconds, the Tigers get one last push. And Kara Martin comes up big with the punch, securing the win on the back of Eliza Turner's PK.
It was such a hard-fought battle. I'm really impressed with the way the Hoyas came out and controlled the majority of this game. I mean, I thought just about 75, 80